Okay, in this question we're given h of x is equal to minus x cubed plus ax squared plus bx, as well as g of x, which is equal to minus 12x. We're also given the points P and Q is actually given to us as 2, 10, and they are the turning points of h. The graph of h passes through the origin. Question 9.1 asks us to show that a is equal to 3 over 2 and b is equal to 6. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, we know that at a turning point, and this is just a generic graph, this is not necessarily this graph, I mean this is a parabola, but it's just to illustrate the point. At the turning point of a graph, if you were to draw a tangent to the turning point, its gradient is going to be 0, so the derivative is going to equal to 0. So that means that at the point 2, the derivative function is going to equal to 0. So h prime of 2 is going to equal to 0. Okay, so we know that. We also know that at where x is equal to 2, the original function h is going to equal to 10. Its y value is going to equal to 10. So we've got two equations and we've got two unknowns. So we're just going to sum solve. That's really all we're going to do. Okay, so h of x is equal to minus x cubed, so let's plug everything in. So I'm going to start with the original function still, and that is just using this point here. So 10 is equal to minus 2 cubed plus a times 2 squared plus b times 2. Okay, so that gives us a 10 is equal to minus 2 cubed, so minus 8, plus 4a plus 2b. Okay, we can simplify this. 10 plus 8 is going to give us 18 is equal to 4a plus 2b. And I'm going to divide everything through by 2, and I'll get, we'll get b plus 2a is going to give us 9. Okay, so this is in equation 1. Okay, and then let me actually simplify this a bit further. That means that b is equal to 9 minus 2a. Okay, that might become useful later. Okay, but now we also know from the explanation I gave earlier that h prime of 2 is equal to 0. So let's first find h prime. H prime of x is going to equal to minus 3. Where's this function? Yeah, minus 3x squared minus 3x squared plus 2ax plus b, and that's just using the power rule. Okay, so h prime of x at 2 is going to equal to 0. So that's just from this fact again. H prime of 2 is going to equal to 0 because it's at the turning point. So then we'll get that as equal to minus 3 times 2 squared plus 2 times 2a plus b, which means that 0 is equal to 3 minus 3 times 4, so minus 12, plus 4a plus b. So that means that 12 is equal to 4a plus b. Okay, but we got b as 9 minus 2a. Okay, so therefore 12 is equal to 4a plus 9 minus 2 times a. So we'll get 12 minus 9, which is going to equal to 3. Okay, and we'll have 4a minus 2a, so that's 2a, which means that a is equal to 3 over 2. Okay, so we've shown that a is equal to 3 over 2. Okay, if you don't get one of the answers, obviously then you've made a mistake. But in this case, yeah, we get 3 over 2. Okay, now we can just sub 3 over 2 back into our equation. We'll get then that b is equal to 9 minus 2 times 3 over 2. And this 2 is going to cancel that 2 because it's basically saying 2 over 1 times 3 over 2. Okay, so that will then give us 9 minus 3, which is of course equal to 6. And there we are. That's all you had to show for this question. Okay, so I hope you understand. Let me just go through the method one more time. Because we know Q is a turning point, and we know that at a turning point of a graph, again, this is just a rough sketch of some graph, the derivative at the turning point is 0. So that means the derivative function is going to equal to 0 at the point 2. So we use that fact to find this equation here. And then we also use the fact that the function evaluated at 2 is going to give us the y value 10. And that gave us equation 1. And then we sim solve equation 1 and 2 to find A and B respectively. Okay, so if you didn't manage to get A and B, or you weren't able to show that A and B were these, in following questions, if they ask follow-up questions based on h of x, please use the values that you were meant to show it to be as. So if you couldn't get it, still use the A is equal to 3 over 2 and B is equal to 6.